What's up, heroes? I got a quick question for you. If I were to give you a penny and asked you to double that penny every day for 30 straight days, how much would you have on the 30th day? No fancy math or arithmetic or anything like that. It's just simple. Double the penny every day, but do it consistently for 30 straight days. What do you think you'd have? $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 if you're really getting aggressive. If you doubled it every day for 30 straight days, you'd have over $5 million. Can you believe that? $5 million for doing something so simple, small, minute, and mundane as doubling a penny. But here's the power of this. If I ask you to skip a day, double it every other day instead of every day, so you're not as consistent, you just slack off a little bit. That's still pretty good, right? If you skipped a day and you just doubled that penny every other day, you'd only have $136. Now, I know that sounds crazy, right? Over $5 million versus 100 just for skipping a day, just for slacking off in your consistency just a little bit. But that's the power of consistency. And that's the problem most people have, and why they don't see results is because they lack the discipline to stay consistent with doing the things they have to do every day, the hard things, doing it every day so they can see massive results. And so in this video, I want to show you what are some things that you can do to double down on your discipline so that you can stick to doing hard things consistently every damn day without fail, so that you get $5 million level results in your life. My name is Jarvis and I am the Morning Hero. My mission in life is to help people be more productive so they can live more extraordinary lives. How can you build stronger discipline so that you can be more consistent in doing the things that you don't want to do, but it's the things that you have to do every day for you to produce results in your life? And so I'm gonna go through my top five ways, and I'm gonna count down from 5 to 1. And number 1 is gonna be the easiest thing you can do. It's kind of the shortcut. So stay tuned till you get to number 1. Number 5, the 5th best way you can build stronger discipline is to start tracking and scoring yourself. Tracking is simply where you're taking score every day. Did you do or did you not do the things that you were supposed to do? You might know tracking is popular in weight loss, where you have apps where you track calories. Tracking calories is one of the best ways for weight loss, because oftentimes we're just unaware if we're sticking to the regimen. So when you start tracking it and you have a tool that actually shows you 3 days this week you did not stick to your calorie budget, then it starts to give you this awareness where you can start doing something about it. So when you start tracking what I call your critical actions. So for your goal, let's say your goal is you want to double your business, you just say, what's the one biggest action that you could take on a consistent basis, the thing that you need to do consistently that would result in you doubling your business. Let's say you're in real estate. So that thing for you is to make prospecting calls. You got to call people and ask them about their home in order for you to be able to sell it for them. If that's the thing, if that's the critical action, is for you to call people every day, you track, did you make your calls or not? It's that simple. Yes or no, did you make your calls? And what I like to do is I have a calendar here, and I put X's on the calendar on the days that I hit my critical action. This is the simplest way for you to start tracking your critical action. And the idea is that you want to get X's all across the board, and that'll show you how consistent you are. The more you track your big critical action, the thing that you need more discipline in doing, when you start tracking it every day, now it brings this awareness and it gives you the discipline, and it'll make sure that you follow through and start doing that thing every day. Number 4, the number 4 best way to build stronger discipline for yourself is what I call prune your circle. So your circle are the people that you hang with. And quite frankly, you are a direct byproduct of the people you surround yourself with, whether you realize it or not. If you're surrounded yourself with low energy people playing video games all day, then by nature that will permeate into you, and you will have that same work ethic. If you raise and elevate the people that you surround yourself with, then naturally you and your work ethic will raise to their level. Jim Rohn is one of the greatest personal development thought leaders of our time, and he's famous for saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you were to take that literally, that if you are the average of the 5 people, what I like to do is I call this the top 5 exercise. And I write down who are the 5 people that I spend the most time with, family included. Then I write those names down. And then right next to their name, I put a little arrow either up or down. Are they bringing my average up, or are they bringing my average down? This is very subjective, but This is for you to decide. Are you in alignment with them? Do they have the same goals and values that you have? Are they going in the same direction as you? And if so, they're up. Maybe you guys aren't aligned. Maybe they're friends, maybe they're old schoolmates or colleagues, but maybe they're headed in a different direction and they don't necessarily have the same values as you anymore. That's down. So up or down. Are they bringing your average up or are they bringing your average down? And then you go through, and for all the ones that's bringing your average down, you need to decide, how can I spend less time with that person and replace them with someone else that's bringing my average up? Now, I recognize you can't replace everyone, especially if it's a family member, but you can make a decision to spend less time with them, or in some cases, you might have to diverge paths. And if it's really bringing you down, you might need to make some hard decisions. But this is a great probing exercise for you to prune your circle. So those 5 people are your circle. To prune your circle means to start cutting out the people that are bringing your average down and replace them with people that will bring your average up. And what you'll find is when you start surrounding yourself with higher quality, higher level, higher grade people, it will bring your level up. And all of a sudden now you will start having the same discipline or work ethic as they do. And so this will be probably one of the hardest things for you to do, is to prune your circle. And that could have one of the biggest impacts on your level of discipline and the things that you can achieve. Number 3, the third best way to build your discipline is, this kind of goes in alignment with pruning your circle, but to find mentors. So mentors are people that you really respect, someone that has already achieved some level of success in their life or is in alignment with a direction that you see yourself going, and you spend time with them and they kind of help guide you and pull you along. This works because a good mentor will hold you to a higher standard, and then that will increase your discipline and your consistency. When you know that you're going to be meeting with someone and they're going to ask you, hey, how's that thing you're working on? Naturally, you will want to have a good story to tell them. Having mentors in your life that will hold you to a higher standard, they will naturally pull your level up. They'll naturally push you. They'll naturally challenge you. They will ensure that you're not letting yourself off the hook, that you're always constantly moving and progressing. For myself, I have what I call my personal board of directors. Just like how a company has a board of directors, I have a board of directors for my personal life. And so I identified all the major areas of my life that are important: my business, my finances, my fitness, my family life, and my passion pursuits. So I identified these areas that are important. For each area, I found someone that exemplifies success in that area. I really respect them. They have demonstrated that they embody all the characteristics that I deem are important. And so for each area of my life, I've identified someone, and then I just simply reached out to them and said, hey, is it okay if we get together on a monthly basis? Either a phone call or in person for coffee or for lunch. And, we can just talk about, ways that I can improve in these areas. There are 5 people I meet with on a monthly basis, and those are my mentors. Those are my personal board of directors. The more time I spend with them, the more their work ethic permeates to me, the more they hold me to a higher standard, the more they're encouraging me, challenging me, and pushing me to grow. Having a good team of mentors, it's almost like the previous example where I talked about your circle, but this one is a little different. These are mentors that can also guide you and hold you to that standard to make sure you're pushing yourself. Finding some mentors and meeting with them on a regular basis will be one of the greatest things to keep pushing you in the right direction. Okay, if this is good, leave a comment below. Let me know which one of these are your favorite. But we're about to get into the good ones. So number 2, the second best way that you can improve your discipline so you can stay consistent to get better results in your life is to hire a coach. I know for myself, this one was a hard one. It took me a long time before I finally decided to hire a coach, but I don't know if it's a pride. Sometimes it's hard for us to ask for help. And I will never forget this. This was an interview that Tiger Woods did back in 2003. And one of the reporters said, Tiger, you are on top of the world. Like, you're arguably one of the greatest people that have ever touched a golf club. And you're just going through this coaching change. He said, at this point, why do you even need a coach? Like, what can the coach do for you? You are better than anyone else. You're better than your coach will be. Why do you need a coach? And I'll never forget what Tiger said. Tiger said, how do you think I got this way? A coach is how I became great. He said, it's only average people who think they can do it on their own. All extraordinary people have coaches. Only average people think they can do it on their own. And I'll never forget that. Those words stung me. If you think about it, everyone from Steve Jobs to Mark Zuckerberg to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, and all people who will go off and do extraordinary things, they have coaches and mentors in their life to guide them. The coach or mentor is one of the fastest shortcuts because you can take 10 years of knowledge, and wisdom and things that they've learned over their life and boil it down into 10 days and just hand you the formula. Rather than you going through all the bumps and bruises, the fails, the trials, the tribulations, you can learn from what someone else has done when they've already figured it out, and you just pay them to teach it to you. A good coach will hold you to a higher standard. A good coach will consistently push you. They'll consistently keep moving the finish line forward to push you and make sure that you're getting to where you need to go. So hiring a coach is definitely one of the best things you could do, and it's one of the fastest things. Here's another thing about hiring a coach. I believe there's a special element to paying for something. You can go out and you can have your mentors and you can find people organically where they're just doing this out of the goodwill of their heart. But the moment you start paying for something, you take it much seriously. They say when you pay attention. I think you get better results from a relationship when you're paying someone for that relationship and for that guidance, because then you take everything seriously. You take their guidance seriously. You take the homework they give you seriously. You take the assignments seriously because you're paying for it. You want to get your money's worth out of it. Like myself, I have a coach and I pay him $15,000 a year. You better believe I don't miss a meeting. I take everything seriously. Every advice he gives me, I execute on it because I got to get my money's worth. And so there's a powerful element behind paying for something as opposed to just having a casual relationship with someone where you guys are going out and meeting for coffee. It's very casual, and you might not get as much value out of that because you don't have money on the line. You don't have anything invested in it. I think when you invest your money, you also will then guarantee you invest your time and effort in that relationship because you got money on the line. There's just a little side note about why I believe paying for a coach is probably more valuable than just having mentors. The number one way to build stronger discipline so that you can ensure that you hit your goals and you're more consistent and you're living an extraordinary life. The number one way to do that is to join a mastermind or an accountability group. If you were to prune your circle, but you automatically replaced all 5 of those people with really high grade, super elevated people. I mean, not just people that raise your average, but they just exploded your average. That's what a mastermind group is. There are groups you can get very specific. If you just want to be, for instance, in a real estate mastermind group, you can find groups that are just focused on real estate, or a family focused mastermind group. Kind of similar to hiring a coach, where instead of just hiring one person, a mastermind group, you're joining an existing group of people that are already marching in a direction that you want to be a part of. And they're headed in towards a destination that you see yourself going to. And so you're just joining up a tide. The tide is already moving. You're just hopping in the water and letting that tide push you in that direction that you're trying to get to. And so that's the power of a mastermind group, is you're joining an existing group of high level, high grade people that are already pushing each other. And then now you're a part of that group and you're getting elevated too. Again, they're going to hold you to a higher standard. You'll declare your goals. They'll know what your goals are. They'll know what your mission is. And every time you meet with them, they're going to make sure you're doing it, that you're heading that direction, that you're following through on the things that you said you're going to follow through on. And that's going to build your discipline right there. Because every time you meet with them, you want to have a good story to tell. You don't want to be embarrassed. Inherently, you're going to want to show up every day, want to show up for yourself, because when you meet with your group, you want to have something meaningful and impactful to share with them. And so joining an accountability group or a mastermind group by far is one of the best ways. And in fact, they even have daily accountability groups. At the Morning Hero, we have what we call daily accountability groups, where every day you do a morning check-in. You get on a call with your group of people every morning where you check in. Hey, here are the big wins I had from yesterday. Here are the top 3 things I need to focus on today to make this a successful day. And then the group holds you accountable to doing those top 3 things. And imagine what that would look like if you had every day you had a checkpoint to make sure that you followed through on prospecting for your business, on getting your workout in, on making sure you ate healthy. Imagine having a daily checkpoint like that with a coach and a group of people that's going to ensure that you push through. How consistent could you be? That's the power of an accountability group or a mastermind group, is that those checkpoints automatically build some discipline in you, because your pride is on the line. You have to have a great story to tell them every time you meet with them. So those are my top 5 ways for you to help you build better discipline so that you can be more consistent and start seeing all the results that you deserve. All right. See you in the next video.